Thank you, Mr. Chair. First and foremost, like my colleagues, I do want to thank all of the speakers who came and testified, whether it be in support or in opposition to this bill. Hearing from you directly really does, impact us and help us make decisions. I represent coastal Broward County. This is obviously not an issue that my constituents face, and as a result of that, I believe it is my job, sitting with this huge responsibility to do this job, to listen to those representatives who say that this is a problem for them. And it's my job to weigh the balance of, does this bill meet and solve the problem that we have? And looking at it from a legal perspective, first and foremost, as an attorney, all this bill does is really codify what is already available in the common law, which is the defense of necessity. That whether you're in a rural part of the state or an urban part of the state, if you're in Broward County and you're in fear for your life of an alligator attack, or you're in fear for your dog's life of an alligator attack, you have the defense of self-defense. So really what we're doing is taking a defense that's already available and codifying it into law. And to the gentleman who discussed, the process and alluded to Representative Schoaf's maybe inability or lack of working with all stakeholders, I firmly disagree with that, because I personally spent a lot of time with Representative Schoaf, being somewhat skeptical and not knowing this problem firsthand, and worked directly with him on the language that we passed as an amendment to ensure that what we're doing here is making this defense available in the least opportune times. We're talking about being on one's private property. We're talking about codifying into law the no longer feeling threatened, but that you're actually must be in imminent fear for your life or the life of someone else in order to protect it from a bear attack. We narrowed the language specifically to relate to someone's dwelling. If you own 100 acres of land or 50 acres of land, this bill doesn't allow for you to take a bear's life because you have a shed on your property that's uninhabitable. That's why this specific definition was selected. So I think what we actually did is made it stronger and the defense almost more difficult. And we're also forgetting that FWC still has to receive a call when a bear is killed. It's not an automatic right to a defense of self-defense. You're still going to have to proffer evidence that you didn't lure the bear. That's still there. So I think what we've done is take what's already available in common law, really narrowly tailor this, and to represent to the committee that all of a sudden this bill is going to allow the poachers who are already conducting illegal activity, that these bears are just going to happen to now walk on private property of all the poachers, and all the bears are now going to be killed as a result of this law, is a bit unreasonable. That's the bears aren't just going to show up at people who happen to be poachers' house, and now we're going to have all these bears killed. So we've got to take a look at what we're doing. We're codifying into law defense that already exists. FWC is going to still receive these calls, and I promise you, in a year from now, if all of a sudden we see an uptake in bears being killed on private land, I promise you Representative Schoaf and this committee will be back to rectify this. But I don't think that's really what's going to happen. What we're going to have is people in imminent fear of their life or the life of a family member, a bear on private property, and potentially entering a home and attacking a family. And that's what this bill allows. And thank you, Representative Schoaf, for working so closely with me on the amendment to really get this narrowly tailored where I feel comfortable to support you and your community in this bill.
Representative Botanna in debate.
Thank you, Chair.